And we are live, and the doors of the Sanctum have been unlocked and opened for the week. And I would like to welcome everyone to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I am your illustrious host, Widow's Son. And with me today is our awesome co host, Dr. Cyrus Oblivion. Wanderer will not be with us today due to having to work, but I would like to wish everyone a very, very happy Halloween. And if I sound a little somber at the moment, I would just like to take a moment to recognize that we did lose one of the greats early this morning. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, Sir Sean Connery passed away at the age of 90 early this morning. And I've been a big fan of his. Uh, since I was a kid, first seeing, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Hunt for Red October, stuff like that. But Sean Connery, we, certainly we love you and we miss you and we hope you rest in peace. So if we can, for just a moment, let's, here in the Sanctum, let's take just a moment of silence for Sir Sean Connery. All right, and thank everyone for that. And Sean Connery, wherever you are, man, we certainly hope, we certainly, wish you rest in peace, and hope that you'll all be looking down on us in your own little way. Uh, but once again, happy Halloween, everyone. Even though we all, woke up to some sad news today, but we're gonna carry on with our weekly gathering here in the Sanctum. And today we are going to be joined by Mr. Quentin Phipps, a.k.a. Ginger Nation, a.k.a. The Random Ginger, a.k.a. Ginger Jesus. He goes by many names and many titles, apparently. But we'll be getting into all of that here in just a little bit. Doc, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Getting settled into my new place.
I was just about to ask you about that, the move and everything. I can already tell that you're in the kitchen. So just by the sound of everything.
No, dude, there's no carpeting at all.
Oh,
bedroom.
oh, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a rug and lay it down. But dude, I mean, this place is super nice. I mean, everything that I could want to do and need to go to is within walking distance.
Right.
Like, got two gyms I could walk to. Starbucks is about a maybe 10-15 minute walk. So the best thing you can do for that is go get one of their, fattening drinks, and you'll burn it all off by the time you get back home if you walk, So
just dump, 4 extra shots of like heavy cream in there. I'll burn it off by the time I get home. It's all right.
So, no, it's a great place, dude. It's in a suburb of the previous town I was living in. It's about 20 minutes, 24 minutes to be exact, from my dojo, whereas the last place was 36 to 40 minutes away from it. I've got fiber internet here, so it's lightning fast. And
well, hey, Spooky's here. How's it going, my man? Sterno just showed up. How's everybody doing? I know Spooky is a good friend of Quentin's. I've seen them in some of his live chats and everything. So right now, I would like to bring on Mr. Quentin Phipps, aka Ginger Jesus, aka the Random Ginger. He and I have known each other for quite a while now, and of course, we'll get into that whole debacle of everything, of how we met and all of that many moons ago. Quentin, how you doing, my brother?
I got knocked out by some weird dude in a big ass cowboy hat and drug into a place I have no idea where I'm at right now. He said help.
Doc, I've told you to stop involuntarily bringing people in here, okay?
I can't help it. I mean, it's just something we do here.
Well, no, it's
Remember
technically
when
not. No, it's technically not. People come in here willingly, but when you just hit them over the head with your cowboy hat and drag them in here, it tends to lose its luster. You know what I'm
well, you
saying?
see, what happened was I was enjoying a nice couple of beers, and something was in my drink, but I was feeling good. And the next thing you know, I get like a roundhouse kick, like fucking Chuck Norris to the back of the skull, and I'm like, okay. And then I start feeling someone dragging me, and I'm like, well, I guess I better not fight it.
So you're saying that Doc roofied you?
I guess so, but what he didn't know is roofies don't work on gingers.
Damn it, Doc. Well, Quentin, it's good to have you on doing like real on interview and everything. You've been on the show several times since I
Yep.
started this back last year, and we've been trying to get everything worked out. And, you've had issues and everything going on, and so today was a good stew dog. What is up, my brother? Oh, good. Yes, Stu Dog, if you are available, I'm going to go ahead and send you a link as well. Get you in here if you'd like to come in and join us. Be good to talk to you also. So I just sent that to you on Discord. So feel free to pop in here at any time if you'd like. But so Quentin, you um you've been doing YouTube for quite a while now. Like
Yeah.
what? Like 3-4 years?
8.
Wow. Now, when you and I first met, which was
About 2 years ago.
no, it's been about a well, no, it's been about a year because I started doing the Sanctum probably about 7 months ago, almost. I
Yeah, but we
believe.
we met in
And
late 2018.
was it?
Yeah,
Holy shit!
that's
Um,
when a certain somebody I won't name was friends with me at the time. But yeah,
oh, it's all right, Stu Dog. Well, good to know that you're here and hanging out in the chat with us today. And it's always a pleasure to see you. And please, please come on the show with us again and talk with us. Um, well, yes, I mean, of course, I saw that whole debacle and everything, how all that went down. But of course, we don't really have
yeah,
to get into many details about that. So now, when you and I first met during the whole after the Jared thing exploded.
yeah, something like that.
Um, because actually I think I just wandered into your stream just uh because I was looking up something about one of his videos and I saw like you were doing a stream about him and I just like popped in and got to talking with you and Teddy Bear and everything else. And hard to believe that's been like God, like 2 years ago, man. Where the fuck is the time gone?
You might have been right. It might have been like late last year. My brain doesn't work because I smoke weed.
Well, and I mean Doc slips you roofies, so I mean that really
Yeah,
doesn't help either.
you
Doc,
promised me a cowboy hat, but I have yet to receive that. So
It's on back order.
yeah,
Doc,
just like my jacket for the Illuminati.
Doc promises people a lot of things, but that's a different story for a different time. uh, so what actually now? Now you said you've been doing it for 8 years. Like, when did you actually get started?
Oof. I started so the very first video I ever made, I was about 12 years old. Um and I was really fucking bored at a public library in a town that I grew up in. And I didn't know how YouTube worked. I also didn't know that when you're playing a video game, it's probably a good idea to record the video game instead of your goofy ass playing it. And my very first video on a channel that doesn't exist anymore, and we'll get into that later, was called Retarded Ginger Plays Bejeweled Blitz. And it was just my reaction to me playing probably the most basic bitch game on Facebook. as a 12-year-old in the child section of the public library. So that was back fucking 10 years ago. So 2010, 2011. Yeah.
So what made you like just want to carry on with it? Is it? I mean, did you get a lot of views when you first did it and all of
No.
that?
I got like, so I remember the very first video I ever did that actually broke 100 something views was a video that I recorded at lunch in high school with a few of my friends, and it was called Chunky Shots. And what it was I had this idea where my buddies and I would spend money on school lunch food, and we would mix it all together, and I would eat it. And like we mixed like baked beans, spaghetti, chocolate milk, fucking Cheetos, applesauce, a whole bunch of different shit. And I guess what really started my love affair with YouTube was the possibility of gaining new friends, and that didn't really happen until I hit about 16, 17. But I was doing it just for shits and giggles. And then I broke into kind of the community that I'm currently in and that I'm slowly leaving. Um, it was the Great Debate community, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a bunch of people that debate about Christianity versus atheism or science or politics and stuff like that. And I met this dude who is the most infamous douchebag in my side of the corner, named Steve McRae, and that's how a lot of people remember like my very first time in a breakout, or I guess that was what you would call my breakout moment, unfortunately. And then I started doing just different content and recording on really shitty quality videos of me doing really stupid shit. Most of the time, it was me recording on my phone with just friends and us getting high as shit and doing dumb things. Um, and then what I'm doing now, like I said, I had left YouTube for a few months, and I came back and I was doing a whole bunch of random shit. And then I was like, you know what? I want to make a brand. I want to make a name for myself. And so I had started Ginger Nation with a buddy of mine named this one guy. And we started doing Good Morning Ginger Nation. And he had to step down. So, I put my buddy Low in it. And we've just been doing the new channel probably since March of this year. And yeah, that's really when, people started figuring out who I was, what I want to do. And, the rest is history.
And vacuums here. How's it going, man? Well, now, when you and I originally met, now you were under your original channel, which
Yep.
was just the Quentin Phipps channel, or the Ginger Jesus channel.
Yeah.
Which I mean that channel was similar. Well, yeah. Trust me. I listened to pretty much like every episode that you put out on that channel. But now that one was just more of like more like
Toxic.
like an open discussion kind of thing.
Right.
Just kind of at random. Um, what and then I heard and then you had told me that you had once I finally figured out really how to use Discord, um, you had told me that you had taken that down. I mean, like, why? I mean, what was the purpose of like actually taking that down? Like, why not just like completely wipe that channel clean and just start from the beginning?
So, what had happened was I, when the Jared shit happened, I was friends with somebody, and I'm not going to name drop because I'm not trying to start any drama here,
That's fine.
because,
That's fine.
but you know who it is. And I was chilling in my Discord, which, by the way, the old Discord doesn't exist anymore. It's we have Ginger Nation, which is the newer Discord that's been around for a few months, and I was chilling in there, and kind of it's gonna be kind of a spiel, so give me like a little bit painting the whole story here. Um, I had a friend of an old friend of an ex friend of mine. We'll put it that way. He said, "Dude, I just met this new guy that could probably get us a fuck ton of views." I'm like, "Well, who is it?" And he goes, "It's this name. This name's like Jared or something." And I'm like, "All right." He goes, "Yo, I'm gonna give him a link, and he's gonna come in here." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever."
Now wait a minute. Now I was not aware of this.
Yeah,
Now, so like he was actually on like a show with you guys.
he we did before I found out who Jared Genesis really was. I actually like so I had watched a stream of his because the dude told like the guy that I was referencing earlier had sent me a link to him and he's like, "Yo, I'm moderating his chat right now." I'm like, "All right, well send me a fucking link." And like I said, I didn't even know who the fuck this dude was. And like I just saw him getting a whole bunch of fucking hate and like I felt bad for him. You know, like I do, like if I
Was
see
this
people.
was this after the video drop?
This was yeah, this was like after but before I knew about it.
Okay.
So this happened this probably happened around I want to say August or September of last year. And so I don't know what the name of the stream was, but it was just like a basic stream. He was talking and people were being assholes and like this was my first introduction to him. And so he came into my Discord and we got to talking and he gave me his little sad sob story and shit like that and I bought it hook line and fucking sinker. So I was just like, all right, well me and my buddy we do a show and we'd like to have you on. And so we had a live stream where we were interviewing Jared and one of my friends, Nicola, he saw it and he's like, "Yo, you do know that you're fucking with a pedophile, right?" And I'm like, "The fuck? What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, that Jared dude, he's a known uh, advocate for pedophilia." And I'm like, "I don't think so." And he's like, and he sent me a whole bunch of shit, and I'm like, "Holy fuck!"
Okay, so how did he discover that? Like, what did you find out? What caused him to kind of stumble
He
across that news?
he's known about so Nicola knows a lot about the internet. He's basically like my intel guy pretty much besides Spooky Bed Hair, which if you need anything spooky is one of the first dudes that'll give it to you. And so
Now, real quick. I remember um I came on one of your streams one night and you were talking with someone named Spooky. Is this the same person? Is this the same guy? Because like me and him got to talking about like a whole bunch of music and a bunch of like old metal bands and all kinds of shit.
I don't think that was Spooky. That might have been Clockwork Rex.
Okay.
Uh but Spooky wasn't a live chat. Spooky's been watching my shit for a few years now, actually. Spooky's been a part of my community ever since really the community started. But yeah, no, Nicola had sent me all this shit, and so immediately I was just like, all right, well, I better backpedal the fuck out of this shit real quick. So the first thing I did was I immediately just deleted the fucking the live stream with Jared in it, and then I kicked him out of the Discord because like I wasn't trying to get involved in that, and people know how I feel about pedophiles, and so I had sent my ex friend all the information that I had, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I already knew about all this shit." I'm like, "And you didn't tell me why? This would have been good information to fucking know." Because back then I really like I was more of the I'll let anybody on my show no matter what, and I didn't really do any fucking research on people because that really wasn't my thing. Um, and so then shit slowly started to go downhill from there. Jared started exposing his true colors. I was watching Surviving Life with Ron Swanson in it.
I
And
love I love that guy. Man, Ron is the fucking man. He is the fucking man, dude.
Yeah, he's
I
actually pretty cool, actually.
I would really, really. Oh man, I would love. I know there's no chance in hell that he would do it, but I would love to get him on here and talk. I've been watching that new series that he's been doing uh, with another guy on YouTube. It's their Dark Net series, and like each episode's like 2.5 hours long, and it's
Actually, you'd be surprised because before I deleted the old channel, I actually had reached out to Ron via his business email, and we were actually talking about having him come on the show, but that didn't happen because uh, well, the channel got deleted. But yeah, no, so then you came into my into the the fucking shit that I was in uh kind of relatively early because like that was before like I started making my channel like making fun of like fucking Jared and Dark Ninja and shit like that, and that was really when my channel started going downhill. There was there was drama with another YouTuber before the Jared thing. Like I'll admit that my channel was drama or just petty bullshit, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I want to move away from this. I want to start doing my own thing. And then all of a sudden you have Jared just plop into fucking existence, and
right.
so that really spawned a whole bunch of new shit. And then I got involved with like a certain group of people that I'm not going to name on here, and so I was living in Georgia at the time when all of this was going down, which I'm back in Georgia if people didn't know that. And I had moved to back to Indiana for a while, and my channel just kept getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And then I got doxxed, and um, so then some.
Yeah, I remember. I was actually watching their one stream in particular, um, where I messaged you like the next day, and you told me like you were having to move like suddenly because you had gotten
Yeah,
kicked out of where you were living.
yeah, that had there was a video that actually I deleted my channel for because it started some shit between some old friends and I, and that kind of ruined a friendship. And I was just like, you know what? I'm fucking done making YouTube content. I don't want to remember any of it. And so instead of saving the content that I wanted to remember, I just deleted the whole fucking thing. Um, and I do regret deleting the whole thing sometimes because there's some videos that I had some good memories with. There was a video where I did a like a 3.5 hour stream where I'm high as fuck, and we're talking about um, the Chronicles of Narnia, and we were telling it through Stoner's eyes and shit like that. But in a way, I'm kind of glad that I deleted the channel. Um, like, and I was never a big channel. I was close to 200 subs. Um, I was close to 200 subs. I was like at like 189 or 190. I can't really remember the exact number. Um, but now I'm at like 139, and I'm building up back where I need to be.
Right.
But even this channel at some point started going back to drama, and I'm trying to not go where I was beforehand. So, and some people are asking, like, have asked me, you know, what if there's like one thing that you recommend to people that are starting out on YouTube, like what would you recommend? And I've always given like make connections with people that you enjoy, and like one of my other connections that I made was with a Hat Man. And that was a lot of fun. I think the very first time I ever had him on, I had you and Teddy Bear on there, which was a lot of fun. I had Hatman on the channel a few times.
Hey, yo, what's up, K Dog? Rage, good to see you as well. Yes, your raid was squandered. You squandered this time. um, yeah, in the whole with the whole Jared thing, that's actually how I found not only you but a Hatman, and I saw him doing a bunch of videos on the subject, and if something new popped up, I'd started emailing him, and then when before I was actually able to get back on Twitter this time, that's another way that he and I communicated, and then I started going into the live streams, and he and it's like it's like I always say, he's a big he is a mentor to me as far as YouTube goes. I mean, he and Stu Dog and you and a bunch of everyone, other people that I know, you guys all inspired me to do this, and here we are running for like 7 months now, which is hard to believe. And this is our 30th episode, by the way. This is our 30th episode, and it just happens to be Halloween.
Hell
So
yeah.
how fucking cool is that?
Yeah.
Um,
It's really awesome, man.
Doc, you're really quiet.
Yeah, well, I was asking Quentin a question. It turned out I was accidentally on mute.
Doc, you gotta stop. You gotta stop slipping yourself the roofies, man. That's not cool, man.
Yeah, you're not a ginger, bro. Well, you're not my ginger.
Yeah, I am a ginger, though.
He is a ginger. I can vouch for that. I've known Doc for like 15, 20 years. We went to high school together.
You gotta start light on the roofies, man. You gotta start light on them.
So, what I was going to ask you is, let's go back to you getting doxxed. How did you find out you were doxxed? And did you find out who did it? Did you find out how they got your information?
So,
just so you know, Quentin, before you answer this question, or when you're going to be talking about anyone in particular, that started anything with you, you don't have to give names or anything like that. So
right.
that's fine.
So originally, this is a little fun fact that not a lot of people know. I'm actually adopted, which a lot of people don't know, unless you watch my channel frequently. So my legal name is not Quentin Phipps anymore. It used to be, but when I was adopted, it was changed. So, he
changed it to Ginger Jesus on purpose. That's what he did.
Mm-hmm, definitely, which I don't go by anymore for some reasons, but I don't go by it on YouTube anyway. But so I found out that I got doxxed by the people that obviously doxed me because I kept getting messages on Discord and they were calling me by my legal name, and I'm like, what the fuck? How do you people know what my legal name is? And they had found my Facebook channel and old YouTube videos where I was actually calling myself by my legal name. So I actually had doxed myself, and then they went out with the information and stopped telling people what my legal name was, and then they found my address and shit, and my old address anyway. And I really didn't freak out. I was more of like, all right, this is kind of fucking weird, but the thing that I was worried about was more of they were going to because they had doxed my parents' address, and that kind of scared me a bit because I was afraid that I thought they were gonna fuck with my adopted parents. And then the ex-friend of mine actually doxed me where I was actually staying at the time. And I found that out through some people that I had knew in the community that originally doxed me. So, yeah, that's how I found out.
What's up, Dumpy? Good to see you here. Happy Halloween, my dude. Well, see, now,
Also,
But
I'm sorry for the munching. I haven't eaten today, so I'm snacking on some dill pickle chips.
oh no, you're good, man. You're good, dude. Me, Doc eats when we're on the air. I'm, drinking water or Mountain Dew when we're on the air.
Well,
That's
I'm
why we
drinking
do.
coffee right now.
Well, I mean, that's why we do this live. It's better that way. You get to see the raw reality of the gatherings that we have
Mm-hmm.
here in the Sanctum. But all right, no problem, Dumpy. But no, the whole like one thing that people and I know that there are people who will argue otherwise, but the whole thing about like doxing someone, like deliberately going after their personal information for um harassment purposes and things like that. I mean, people don't seem to realize how illegal that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um and I mean, now let's take it a step back, like way back in the day. Everybody remembers phone books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when was the last time you actually saw a phone book? You really don't.
4 years ago.
I can't recall the last time I actually saw an actual phone book.
The last
Um,
time I saw one, I saw the power team ripping them up. So I think that's what happened to them.
God, those were Chinese phone books, though. I remember seeing those guys as a kid, and they were ripping like Chinese phone books in half and all of that shit. Um, but that was legal. Those were put out through the phone company. And then you fast forward several years and they've pretty much done away with them. Because, I mean, let's face it, not a whole lot of people nowadays, unless you own a business, a lot of people don't have like actual landlines. Like businesses have to have them, obviously. But like pretty much, I would say, uh, and Doc, feel free to correct me when I say this, but pretty much I would say what, like 98% of the population has a cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably safer to say that more people have a functioning cell phone than there are toilets than they would a functioning toilet in their home.
Let's see.
I'm not
Stu,
people. Uh,
hang on,
uh,
let me read this comment from Stu Dog real quick. Said, well, there was a lad who was shot dead after a swatting went wrong. Cops got the wrong house and gunned down this. Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah. Swatting. So they're one of the guys that I follow on YouTube. Donut Operator used to be a cop, and so he still has a lot of connections to the police force. And there were times where people have threatened him, and he has called the local police department and said, "Hey, just so you'll know, there's some people who are pissed off, and I'm probably going to be swatted." And one time he was, and the cops were like, "Okay, we know this guy, we know this address," and he called us and told us that. And so they did, and just did a wellness check, and turned out like he was right. So I mean, sometimes if you suspect that someone's going to do that to you, sometimes it's best to go ahead and notify your local authorities. But unfortunately, most people can't see it coming like that. I mean, you hear stories all the time of guys sitting in their kitchen eating dinner with their families, and then suddenly the door is busted wide open, and the cops find the family sitting there. They're only lucky that they weren't shot, and because usually with the way they swat them is it's not like they swat them to say, "Hey, this guy's," or "Hey, I'm thinking of killing myself," or something. It's usually they combine it with a murder suicide. So I mean, it's awful, man. And I think honestly, if they can find out who swatted someone, that person should be charged with a numerous set of crimes, like filing a false report should be one, and then if there are any injuries or murder, it should all be pinned upon that person, because the person basically used lethal force by proxy.
Now, Stu Dog actually just sent me something about what he was just talking about, and we'll get back to everything here in just a moment. Um, he sent me the Wikipedia link to this, and it says the 2017 Wichita swatting was a swatting incident that occurred on December the 28th, 2017, in Wichita, Kansas. Casey Venner and Taylor Barris were responsible for placing a fraudulent call, and their intended target was Shane Gaskill. The three were connected through the video game Call of Duty World War II. Gaskill intentionally provided the wrong address, one that was occupied by an uninvolved person, Andrew Finch. Wichita police responded to the address, and as Finch was exiting the house, police officer Justin Rapp fatally shot him. Barris pled guilty to federal charges for false information and hoaxes, cyber stalking, threatening to kill another or damage property by fire, interstate threats, conspiracy, and several counts of wire fraud. So he apparently was up to a lot more than it seems. He also faces charges for involuntary manslaughter in Kansas and a false alarm in his home state of California. On March 29th, 2019, Barris was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison as a result of the swatting incident.
Wow. I mean, good. That guy deserves to have that.
But well, Quentin, you have to admit, when you found this out and people were actually using this, honestly, and I'm not saying, you're downplaying it or anything like that, not at all, but it had to freak you out a little bit. I'm seriously, I know you was talking about your adopted parents and everything, but you personally, it had to, it had to throw you for a loop.
So the thing was, I had already knew about it, right? Like I known what was going on. I knew that they had doxed me, but I kind of played it like, oh, that's not who I am. That's not me. That's not my parents, blah, 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 blah. And they all knew that it was, though. And because I didn't give them the reaction that they wanted, they didn't do anything. Like, they never fucked with my parents. They never fucked with me. The worst that I got was like people calling me fat on some childhood photos that I had posted on my Facebook. Like, that was the worst. But it is like, I do know that like there's been worse. So like I did know about that we just talked about. Like I did know that. And it is really fucked up. Because
right.
like,
hey, Wanderer's popping in. Got sent home from work, feeling faint, heavy, and dizzy. So, okay, well, all right, Wanderer. Just be chilling out in the chat with us and hanging out today. And real quick, before we continue, want to remind everybody there will be a bonus show this coming Monday, and I forgot to make the announcement because I wanted to take the opening moment to pay homage to Sir Sean Connery. Bonus show Monday. The Wanderer and I, just the two of us. Doc will be working or probably trying to attempt to roofie someone else or hit someone else with his cowboy hat. Whatever whatever he does in his work time that he calls it. But Monday bonus show, same time. 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. UK time. It will just be the Wanderer and I, and we are going to be joined by the lady herself, Burnt Toast. She is going to be joining us here in the Sanctum on Monday for the bonus show. We're going to be talking about her channel and her content. So I will be setting up the I'll be setting up the reminder and everything later on today or tomorrow. I will be posting a link to her channel. Please go and support this lady's channel. She does amazing and very informative and very funny content. She is very talented when it comes to her content, and I have a lot of respect for what she does. So please, I'll post the link in the description of the bonus show, And please go check out her content. Give her a subscription. Turn the notification bell on for her because she is awesome, and we are looking forward to having her on. Um, so
Follow the
getting
Ginger Nation.
do what?
Follow the Ginger Nation.
I'm gonna let you shamelessly plug everything while later on. I'm gonna let you get your shameless plugs in, Quentin. I'm not gonna forget about that.
No, I'm just busting chops.
I know that, but see that I'm like my main question about it is because on your original channel, like I saw or pretty much heard, because there was a lot of times like I would just listen. I was one of those infamous lurkers that that you constantly hear about. But people were just kind of bragging about it. They're just like, yeah, I doxed this person and I've been doxed before, but I don't care. And it's like, well, you should care because the wrong person could do it. And
You could die.
I mean, yeah,
Well-
I'm like the wrong person could like get your information and do whatever. But I've seen some people on YouTube like they just brush it off like it's nothing. I'm just like, are you insane?
Well, and not only that, you like Europe just passed or not just passed, but several months, maybe even a year ago or more, they passed a right to be forgotten law, which means that the big companies like Google and Facebook, if you want to be removed from Google searches or from any other search engine searches, those companies have to honor that. So, I mean, granted, they don't have anything like that here, but I think they should. But I mean, you do have a right to privacy. This idea that, oh no, you don't have a right to privacy or anything to be found online, or if you've sent nudes out, anybody can get them and do with them as they please. It's like, no, that does not constitute or negate their rights at that point. So
Exactly.
for example, like if you and your girlfriend are sending pictures back and forth to each other, or you and your wife are doing that, then those pictures, realistically, I think anybody, everybody.
Snap. Wander.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Wanderers. They're being placed back on lockdown.
Yeah. But anybody with common sense could look at that and say, at that situation, and say, obviously those pictures are meant for the two people involved. They're not meant to be shown around. Those people were meant to send those. But then, that's one reason why they had to pass those revenge porn laws.
Yeah.
That
was actually something that that Ron talked about on Surviving Life one time, because there were and I think we actually talked about that like on one of our darker episodes, as we call it.
Yeah, I was on that episode.
That's right. You popped in, I think probably maybe about 15-20 minutes after we got started. And Stu Dog does make a good point, because I've actually read about this. You can petition Google to have your personal information delisted from search engines, which one thing, and Doc made me aware of this several years ago, and actually showed me how to do it. Actually, like we were hanging out, having a couple of drinks, and he actually like sat there with me and showed me how to do it on my phone, to remove your Facebook from Google search. Because like somebody could just go in and like type your name into Google, and immediately one of the first things that would come up would be your Facebook page. But if you go into like your Facebook settings and set it a certain way for the privacy, it will completely remove it from the Google search.
I will be right back, gentlemen. I am parched and I need something to drink.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. But which hang on, let's see what Wanderer is saying here. I will get Dr. Cyrus Oblivion delisted from Google.
Thank you. Please do, Wanderer. I would love that. I would love that help, because it just saves me work.
No one will ever find your PhD.
That's okay.
Teddy Bear's here. Well, hello, you gorgeous lady. Good to see you here. Um, but the whole thing about it is like, people say that the whole right to privacy thing is so loosely defined. I'm like, no, it's not loosely defined. That's the reason that the federal government put federal right to privacy laws in place just for situations like this. But the only problem with it is the only thing that I think that there's a problem with it is that you're not really going to know who actually got the information on you. That's the only thing, because it's at the other end. It's like on the other end of another computer. And you can, have, the top fucking hackers and all kinds of shit, like dig through the deepest, darkest corners of the surface web all you want, but it would probably take weeks,
So
months
my internet wife is here.
yeah, yes. Well, remember. I mean, we both speak. I mean, she's spoken for by both of us, technically.
Oh yeah, you should be getting your divorce papers in the mail.
Let's see. It really sucks when someone docks your personal information on the internet. Look what happened to. Well, yeah.
That's actually an interesting segue for me, because you guys asked me like why I didn't like freak the fuck out.
Yeah. Computer technologies.
One of the things that you guys really need to remember is I am a stoner. And when I say stoner, I mean I partake in the devil's cabbage, and I was really fucking high at the time that I got doxxed. And so I called my parents up and I'm like, yo, by the way, somebody had Google searched me because they don't like me apparently, and they leaked your address and your personal phone numbers. And they're like, all right, well, if anybody tries any fuck shit, then we'll take care of it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And so they really didn't have my number or my address at the time where I was staying. And when my ex-friend doxed me, I was already a part, like, all of those people that had doxed me originally were like cool with me apparently, and so they didn't do anything with that information. In fact, they did the quite opposite, and they used it against my ex-friend and went after him harder for it. So, and like as much as like and that's kind of another reason why I deleted my old channel, is because I was getting involved with bad people. And I was letting my channel go down a direction that really wasn't good.
Right. See, Stu Dog says, I do think that clean hands has a lot to do with it too. Like when it came to Dark Ninja, persistent troll and doxer, and he got himself doxed because he messed with the wrong people.
Yep.
That's very true. And Wanderer says, when you get doxed, I have no knowledge of any of this. Let's see. And Stu Dog. It is so good to have Stu Dog in here today, man. It really, really is.
I mean, you know what happens when Ginger shows up. Just kidding.
But I understand, like, the people that actually had the information. I mean, you were cool and everything with them and all of that, but at the same time, if I was told that somebody had like my mother's information and her address and shit like that, dude, I would fucking lose my shit, because like I mean, not only because like they've got my mother's information, but that's my fucking mom, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there's like me being an Irishman, there are just certain things that you don't mess with. You don't mess with our families. You don't mess with our ladies. You certainly don't mess with our mothers, and you don't mess with our beer and whiskey. I mean,
So
that's just the way that it goes. But I mean, honestly, I don't give a shit. Who I don't give a shit who they are. That's some, as I like to say, that's just some fucked up, repugnant shit.
So when I found out that I got doxxed, right? I had originally went to somebody that was in the community that didn't dox me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck do I do now? And they're like, as long as you don't freak the fuck out, you act like you don't know what they're talking about, you'd be fine. Just give the people that you know got doxxed some heads up and just go from there. Like, don't do anything crazy. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And like the thing was, where I was living at, people had talked a bunch of shit about me and actually tried to get me arrested on some fake charges because they didn't like me or what I was doing at the time. And so my adopted parents were constantly getting death threats, like, and it wasn't anything new to them. If I didn't get a text message that said, "Hey, you got a new death threat letter," uh, it was an off day for a long fucking time.
Right.
So like I was kind of used to this shit and like I knew eventually it was going to happen. Like I knew it was going to happen eventually. But that's when I kind of drew a line in the sand. I'm like, look, y'all are cool, but I'm not going to be a part of the doxing shit. Like I'm not going to dox anybody. I'm not going to deal with that. I just kind of did my own thing. And when the video came out that started a rift between my friends and I just completely separated myself from that community, deleted my channel, and fucking did a new thing. So I mean, yeah, like that's just kind of the past, and I've kind of looked for from it and learned from it, and so I'm doing different things.
Well, I mean, do you think that I'm trying to think how to phrase this question. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, this
same.
is one of the very reason I kept my girlfriend out of the picture. Oh yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, I don't have a girlfriend right now. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Uh, um, I mean, but do you think if you hadn't gotten involved with certain people, like certain circles on YouTube, do you think it would have been completely avoided?
No. Like if I wouldn't have gotten involved with Jared, probably yeah. But the fact that Jared came into my shit and like we were talking shit about him constantly, there was nothing I could do. Like it was pretty much set in motion from that point forward.
Well, right, but I mean, it was nobody that he knew that was the one that did it.
Right. It was more of the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, you know? And
Well, I mean, remember, an enemy of an enemy is a friend, right?
well, yeah, normally, but not when it came to this, apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why if you ever watched my old channel, there was a certain point where I was like, we're not talking about Jared anymore. We're not gonna fucking talk about Ninja. We're not gonna talk about Andy. And so I kind of just fell off the map when it came to that shit because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be
Right.
associated with that. I didn't like, and I've made a video about Jared on this channel, on my new channel, like once, and that was just to get it out of the fucking way.
Well, see that, I mean, that's one thing about the sanctum here. I mean, we talk about, we'll talk about Jared, or we'll talk about Jared in passing, or we'll do the Beta Boy Theater 4000 every once in a while. Not every show or everything. It's just just something every once in a while. We can have a little chuckle at. But we talk. We'll mention people like him, or Shani and Rev, or when when Hatman was on here for our panel show last week, he had mentioned G-Man, which I mean, of course, I mean I've
G-Man,
right.
defender of the Chartverse.
um, but it's just in passing. I mean, it's not a consistent.
Right.
It's not a consistent thing. And people, I mean, people who do reaction channels and all of that, to those people, I mean, kudos to you. I mean, your work is great. You're informative, funny, because I mean, you're speaking truth. And that's,
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. Like, like Burnt Toast, she's speaking truth. I have thoroughly watched the videos on her channel. And I enjoy her content. It's funny. It's informative. She makes a lot of good points. She points out, the contradictions and everything that are going on. And let's see.
Stu Dog kind of makes a good point there. It's kind of like the all cow prime directive. Like, Widow, you and I talked about the Von Helton video that I did on my channel a week or two ago, and it's like 400 something views now. That's really all I had to say about Vaughn. Like right now, I'm trying to go back and do a music podcast and talk about like pop culture shit because that's what I'm more interested in. And like, there's still times where people will be like, "Well, did you see the new Geek Room video about Shani?" And like, yeah, I'd be like, "Yeah, I watched it, but like, I don't really want to talk about it." Like, and the thing is, like, I'm not like enemies with with Burnt Toast or anybody like that. Like, I think they're all good people, and they're funny people. I'm trying not to get involved with the lolcow shit anymore because I just don't want to.
Well, right, and Stu Dog, and you're right. Stu Dog makes a very, very excellent point. I mean, I mean, it's like take okay. Let's like if okay. Let's go back and look at some of the big syndicated radio shows over the years, and Doc knows some of them that I'm talking about. Like Stern and Opie and Anthony, and things like that. They would have. Well, let's take Opie and Anthony for example, which I love to go onto YouTube and just listen to like their old bits and all of this. Like they would find a subject, and they may do like one or two shows about it, but then they would move on, or they would just talk about it in passing, and then they move on from it, and it's never brought up until much later if something comes of it or what have you, which is exactly what people need to in certain situations, depending on like on YouTube, depending on what you're going for. That's what you need to do, like the show here. We it's like I've always told everybody, we treat this kind of like a little talk radio show. This is exactly what this is. People come in here, we interview people, we talk about random shit. Wanderer does his incredible music reviews and stuff, and and then we wrap up for the week, but we have a good time doing it.
Right.
But I mean, like you said, Stu Dog makes an excellent point. Talk about it, but don't get involved. And it's like, and also basically I guess the best thing I could say about it is leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
Leave the going after the lolcows to the professionals. Like Hatman does a great job, and we can all agree on that.
Of the universe.
Burnt Toast, all of that, all of them, I consider them professionals. So, leave that to the professionals. Mention it in passing, have a laugh, like I said, we do the beta boy thing every once in a while, and just have fun with it, but don't basically like just don't go diving head first into the shit pile, basically.
Right. Like the video that I was talking about with Von Helton, how that actually came about was my co-host Love Sick Low. had I so that day I was like taking a fucking nap because I was kind of depressed and I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm going to bed. And like I hadn't slept in like 2 days. So I took a nap and I woke up and I have messages and he's like, "Have you seen this shit?" And he's talking bad about you and Leophilius. And I'm like, I haven't seen it, but I'll fucking record my reaction to it. And so I had 400. There's 406 views of me reacting and talking shit to Von Helton, and I mean that's great and all. Like I'm thankful for the 406 fucking views on it, but it's not really what I want to do anymore.
Right.
It really isn't. It's like I want to move past the 22-year-old Quentin Phipps that everybody fucking knows and be better. And I'm not saying that you can't be a better a good person and do lol cow shit, because there are quite a few channels you can go watch, but like when you think of lol cow shit, you don't think of Quentin Phipps, Ginger Nation. You think of fucking Geek Room, Dragnaut Silvis. By the way, all good channels. Go check them out.
Did you get invited to go on the Geek Room?
I've talked to people on the Geek Room. I've been on the Geek Room one time, but it wasn't an official episode. It was just them fucking off. So I've talked to Frank and Billy from the Geek Room. So I mean, I've talked to people. But I just I don't. That's not my content style, and I'm gonna be honest.
Well, right, but I mean, it's like when Cadenza invited me on the Out of This World podcast, which was shout out to Cadenza, and I think he's back up and doing that every once in a while. Hadn't heard from him. I actually do need to check in on him and see how he's doing. But the the whole thing is, and I like talking about things that I'm not really really knowledgeable on. I'm picking up on things as the conversation goes on, and then it all starts to make a little more sense. And then of course,
Right.
I'm always going to tell somebody, if feel free to correct me on this if I'm wrong, because I'm human. My brain will malfunction from time to time, and I will be wrong about things.
By the way, this interview sucks. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You know what?
I'm kidding. Like
it doesn't matter what you think.
See,
I've been watching like a lot of old like old school like WCW and WWE.
Oh shit, my boy Matt Bond's here. What's up, Matt Bond? Got M Bond in the building, boy.
Well, hello, Mr. Bond.
M Bond is my my go-to guy for other communities. When I need an inside guy, that's my boy.
Right on. Well, welcome, Mr. Bond. Friend of Quentin's is certainly a friend of mine. So feel free to subscribe, hit the like the thumbs up, the notification bell. Join us anytime that we are live.
I'm pretty sure Doc over there took one too many roofies. He's out of the
I'm
building.
just listening.
Well, now, Doc, this is something you and I have discussed quite a bit. Going back to the whole the whole privacy thing. Now, and you working more and more with the with the computers and things, and then we'll certainly continue with everything else. Is it? You were telling me something a while back. I don't remember what it is and what it was. Something about I think it was like search search history or reverse search history or something like that. Or something to do with like browser history or something. To like get a backdoor into people's information or something to that effect. It's something you and I had discussed like a long time ago. Doc,
Yeah, say that again.
stop not paying attention. Um, what I was
Talk the listener.
Doc, the listener.
Oh,
Doc
yeah,
would make a good Doc would make a good therapist. You know,
if anybody doesn't know, like, don't think that I'm being a dick to widows. Like, I do this with everyone who interviews me. I'm like, oh, this interview sucks. You guys don't even care about me. No, it's more of just I do that with everyone because I've had a few small channels come, like, since I have 100-something people. They're like, hey man, you want to come on? I'm like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I ain't got nothing better to do.
well, and of course, you and I.
So basically, if you had something better to do, you wouldn't be on the show, is what I'm hearing.
No,
Yeah.
I never have anything better to do. That's the thing.
And
Oh, well, that's good for us then.
yeah, it works out either way.
Yeah, fuck you guys. I don't even know who you are.
and and it's like like I was saying, Quentin and I have been friends for quite a while, and we pop in and out of each other's streams all the time, and I love having him on. He's always fun to talk to and everything like that, and I've been wanting to get him on here for a while. To just talk to him about everything that he's been doing and all of that. But no, Doc, what I was saying was like something you and I were talking about. You were as far as like getting someone's information, like it was something to do with like a search history or reverse search history, some way. It's like a back door into getting their information, like through their some like their web browser or something to that effect. Or
Oh yeah, they're what is typically done now. I mean, malware is put on someone's computer, and then you can get access on it. I mean, you can, for the most part, though. I mean, web browsers have pretty much locked that down
yeah,
to where it's really hard to do. But that doesn't mean that there's not a 0-day exploit waiting around that they're just waiting. And what that means is a 0-day exploit is when there's an exploit, a vulnerability that a company has no clue about. So what they do is like the hackers and government agencies keep tabs on this, and they use them, and then once the company discovers it, it's like, okay, they've discovered it, it's day 0, and that's when they have to start working on fixing that. And what a lot of people don't realize, everybody thinks all this stuff with computers is safe. There's really nothing safe. When you start converting anything to zeros and ones, I had a friend tell me, he said, anything that can be converted to ones and zeros can and will be hacked.
right.
And that's what's happening. That's why identities are stolen. It's one reason why banks and things with data breaches occur all the time. So one of the things that they have to do is they have to employ a lot of different tactics. So basically, you've got all these different security measures. You don't set up just one. You set up several that are in different categories, and you just make it as difficult as possible for the hacker, to where they go to an easier target.
Right.
So really what you're doing is you're setting up all of these defenses, and you're hoping that the hackers give up and they move on to another victim.
And Rex has that right. Life just isn't safe.
No, and that's true. And one of the things that's so ridiculous is that we've tried so hard to sanitize our lives and tried so hard to make sure
And sanitize our hands.
Yeah, wash your fucking hands, damn
yeah,
it.
wash your hands, but
And watch your ass too.
that goes without saying. I mean, I can't believe only in 2020 would you have to tell grown adults, be sure to wash your hands and take a bath.
Right.
And
I mean,
masturbate in the privacy of your own fucking home.
I can't believe none of that, like that, any of that had to be said. Like I
Right.
thought all of that just went without saying. Like
It's common sense, people. I mean,
it's like oh, hey, you took a dump and wiped your butt. Now, I hope you wiped your butt. Gotta wash your hands.
Right?
Well, I mean, sometimes you're in a hurry and you shit and you forgot to wipe your ass.
Dude. So there was this one exchange that I saw where some hillbilly was told a girl on Tinder
Oh, God.
that he doesn't wipe his butt when he takes a dump because he said that is gay. Like he said, it's gay to wipe your butt after taking a dump. And I'm like, I mean, that is a degree of homophobia that's just like, you're just going, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, it's gay to
And the
ruin.
girl's response was, well, you're shit and you probably smell like it too. Have a good day. And she blocked him when she said that.
Yeah, it's only gay if you're not wearing socks, man.
Oh, God. I mean, it's just like the absurdity that the audacity of the guy had and how absurd it was. It's just like, if you're gonna be prejudiced, at least be smart about it. At least be able to back up what you're saying. And not that I ever would agree with that.
Right. No, there's
But
a running joke between the friends of mine who were all either gay or something, some along the lines of that, and we have the inside joke that it's only gay to use a bidet if you're not holding hands with your best friend.
well, I mean, it's just like I was saying, it also too kind of shows that when you have these prejudices that they really are ignorant, and I think that was the perfect manifestation of how ignorance like plays out.
Well, see, like, I don't want to encourage homophobia, like, at all. Like, the thing is, like, most, like, I use the R word here and there, which, if you don't know what that is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but it's,
It's probably with
Yes,
YouTube's policies.
it's
It's probably
probably best if you don't say it.
yeah, we'll just say RT for short. I have autism, so, I sometimes say it because, like, it's taking back power. Or I'll say the F word because I'm a non-binary, pansexual, asexual weirdo. So we're using that word to take back power from people that have been calling me that for years. So like it's not like we're actually homophobic or anything like that. We make gay jokes towards each other because we're all friends and we're all comfortable doing it. But that doesn't mean you can just walk up to a random person and be like, you know what, you're gay if you use toilet paper on your anus.
I mean, seriously,
I
what
mean,
did the guy think?
it honestly sounds like the guy's logic was just like, if you ever wiped your own ass and felt violated,
It's like, dude, stop using corn cobs. We have toilet paper now.
So here's a little segment. Since you guys wanted to know a little bit about like my childhood and shit. My adopted dad has a friend who recycles corn.
Oh,
I, I, I really don't know if I want to hear more about that or not.
And if you don't know what recycling corn means, it's probably for the best.
it's the corn cob reference that I mentioned
No,
earlier.
No, it's not.
no.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no.
no. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Um. Well, oh my god. That
Hey
is
man,
just,
you wanted an interview with Quentin Phipps. You're getting an interview with
well,
Quentin
no,
Phipps. Okay?
no. That's perfect. I get it. I get it. Hang on. Stu Dog said some things. I'm going to go back to him here. So a lot of it is social awareness too. Let's use Jared again as an example, telling us about a new software he installed to protect and hide his location. Then tells us he is moving and tells us the location he may be moving to. Any
A+
security
job
system,
there, Jared.
any security system is easily defeated by the stupidity of its user. That is
Yes.
very, very correct, Stu Dog.
Something that I will advocate for people to get if you can afford it is definitely a VPN.
Yes.
I'm looking into getting one myself. So
I need to check into that myself with the company that I use.
besides
Well,
that, you
well-
can watch porn in the privacy of your own house. I mean,
One of the
that's
things-
just freeing.
One of the places I worked, in order to have access to the servers, and I was a sysadmin, we had to either be on the premises, or we had to like VPN into a box that they had at the premises, and then shell into the server from there. So
Right.
it wasn't like, I mean, it was not an easy task to get in.
Right.
And really, the only way someone could have gotten around that, and it's typically the way that they do get around it, you trick someone into going to a suspicious link, you trick someone into downloading some malware, and then you
That's
steal their
why you don't
credentials.
click on the random links in your email or your spam folder, people.
Yep.
Well, I mean, all of us have become millionaires because of the prince in Sudan or in Egypt that
No, mine was in
has no
Nigeria,
family.
dude. That's how I made my millions, was off that Nigerian prince. He
That's
asked
how
me
that's
to.
how he got his
I
PhD.
sent him.
That's how he
Yeah,
got his PhD.
I sent him all of my bank account information, and he deposited $1.5 million into my account and gave me a PhD from the University of Nigeria.
Oh yeah, I'm the new prince of Egypt, by the way.
So
Your rule was 5040 BC to 5000 BC.
Something like that.
So Quentin, now you also do music.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Now you you were talking to me like a while back about a lot of like you were doing like a rap or a hip hop album or something to that, or you were working on it.
Yeah.
Like what what really got you into doing that? I'm curious to know.
Oh, here we go. So everybody, grab your popcorn, grab a snack, and grab a comfy seat because I'm taking you on a fucking road trip. So
Now would be a good time to get up, go to the bathroom,
yeah, make sure you don't wipe your ass because that's gay. So when, like, I've mentioned this before, especially on my channel, I went through the adoption agency and foster care, and I was even put in a boys' home at a young age. And the one thing that I can say that's been persistent in my life is music. It's the one thing that it's always never changed for me. And one day I was like, I want to say I was in like ninth or either seventh or ninth grade. It was started around then. I'd always said I want to be a musician or I want to produce music or something like that, where everyone else was just like, I won't be a firefighter, I won't be a police officer, something like that. And
and Quentin was like, I want to be Notorious B.I.G.
Exactly. I want to be I can't even fucking think of the guy's name. But so I was actually just fucking around and I just started rattling off some lyrics in my head, and people heard it and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, chilling,
stuff,
and that kind of started my love affair. Like, I was always listening to like rap or metal or country or something at a young age. So, it's always been there. And yeah, that's kind of how music came to me. It's always been a natural thing for me. So,
well, now, I mean, what drew you to like kind of wanting to do that that style? I mean, like, what was?
I was good at it.
You're good at breathing too, but still, I mean, we have to do that.
Well, that's a debatable subject because I even choke on air. I don't know. Like, it's not just rap that I want to do. My main focus is artist development, which is something that I'm meaning to work on with a few people actually. So that's more of the production and developing their sound and getting them to get where they need to be. But I don't know. I was rapping some lyrics that I had written down in at work one day, and everyone was listening to me and like, "Yo, was that you, or were you rapping to a song that you were listening to?" I'm like, "Oh no, that was me." They're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "That's really good. I didn't expect something like that from a kid like you." And I'm like, "Don't know if that's racist or if that's a compliment." Thanks, I guess. And then people kept pushing me to do an album where I rap. So yeah, that's still in the fucking works after 3 years.
I was just about to ask how that was coming along.
It's like snail racing. It's probably never gonna get done, but you know I'm working on it.
Um, well, now you see that's one thing. Like I I myself is like you know I'm self-taught on drums and all of that, and then I started doing like metal and hardcore vocal and all of that like several years back, and that's just kind of one thing I myself have like kind of wanted to do. I'm like, if I could learn how to do like guitar and bass, I could probably do a little one man project. But the only thing is, like, I don't know how to read music. Like, I can't read music to save my fucking life.
Oh yeah, no, I'm self-taught as well. I have what's called the ear for music, or it's called many fucking things, but
The only one,
um,
the only one in the sanctum or in the sanctum right now, as far as like the three of us right here, that can honestly say that they know, the ups and downs of music is Doc. I mean, honestly, that's like no shit.
right. I mean, and I've done live performances before. Um,
Because Doc, didn't you get your master's in guitar?
I did.
I got my master's in baiting.
Oh,
I
God.
knew it was coming. I knew it as soon as he opened his mouth and got the words "I've got my master's in." I knew he was gonna say it. I knew it.
Pretty much.
Knew it. I could smell it a mile away.
Oh man, don't say it like that right after he said that.
I mean, it smells like Teen Spirit in here. So.
Just stop. Just stop. We're done.
Show's over. Whatever.
You guys know that we all wanted to be a bunch of big rock stars living hilltops,
Oh, stop. Just don't. Yeah,
driving
that's
15
even worse.
cars.
That is the worst thing you've said the entire interview.
That's the
Entire
only.
show.
That's the only. Next to the last comment that he made, that was the second most like unnecessary thing he said.
No, that is the most unnecessary thing he said is quoting Nickelback.
Hey
Well,
man,
yeah, we're gonna have to perform an exorcism on the sanctum after we
So,
close.
so, uh, Widow, do you remember a few years ago they had on Facebook the group that was, uh, I bet, this pickle can get more fans than Nickelback.
Yeah,
I became a fan of the pickle.
yeah, I did too. It's like everybody was following like this egg. Was it an egg on Twitter or something like that a few years back?
I don't know.
I don't remember either. But no, hang on just a second. Real quick reminder: tomorrow is D-Day.
No, what? No.
Is it really?
Wait, hold. No. D-Day, the Normandy landings was back in June.
yeah, it's June 6th, my dude.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't. It was June.
Tomorrow is All Saints Day in the Catholic Church.
Ah,
It's also where we get the name for Halloween, which was originally All Hallows Eve.
Oh yeah,
And
tomorrow begins Snow Nut November, so everybody get your
Oh,
wax out when you can.
oh yeah, that and it's like no shave, like
Mhm.
but I can't do that, dude. I can't do the beard. Um,
Speaking of those things, this month, the whole month of November, any of the donations that I get to my StreamYard or Patreon, I will be donating to Movember, which is a basically a charity slash movement that encourages men to speak out on mental health and in abuse. And like I said, everything will be going to them. I won't be shaving, or masturbating. Um, mention that in passing, but like for real shit, I will be donating all the money to them this whole month. So
that's awesome, man. Definitely. D- uh, that I really do applaud that. And Doc and I have actually been kind of in the works, kind of talking about maybe doing like a PayPal or a Patreon or something. But the only thing about doing a Patreon is like we don't have anything to offer anybody, and I don't want to do that without having like a perk to offer people if they want to like do a regular donation or instead of a one time or something like that. Because I'm the kind of person that I like when it comes to anything, I like to get my money's worth. I'm the kind of person like when I go to a concert, like I want to hang out after the show's over, and when the band's still on stage throwing set lists and picks and drumsticks and all kinds of shit out, or if they're like hopping down off the stage and like hanging out with people, I want to do that. I feel like I get my money's worth at that point. So we've kind of been talking about we've been throwing the idea back and forth.
if you want to run a Patreon, like the way that I set the Ginger Nation Patreon up is like we haven't done anything with it yet because nobody's actually donated or became a patron. But what we're going to be doing is like making certain content for Patreon, just to get people interested in it. But like it's not going to be like much different than what you'd get on our show. Um, like there might be some behind the scenes shit, and you'll get your name on not only the description if you become a $25 member, but you reserve a spot for you on a show. There's a bunch of shit I forget, but
Right. Uh, Doc Stu Dog just pointed something that was that Kofi is good. It's literally just a tip. Um, make a note of that and look into that. Tell me what you think about it.
all right.
Um,
I think we were on
so,
music though.
but yeah, I mean, I want I want people to because it's like I've said before, I've got to get a better system, like at least a better laptop, or I need to get a tower so I can start learning Streamlabs and all this other kind of stuff. I've actually been kind of just researching it here and there and just reading up on what I can when I can. But I want the better that we make, because I mean I like using StreamYard. I do, because it is. I mean, a lot of people still use it, and to me, it gives the show a little more of that humble feel to it. And not I'm not taking anything away from anyone who does extravagant things like with their content and everything. I would certainly never do that at all, and that's some real shit. I mean, I would definitely like to make it look better. Um, like little intro, kind of like what we use and everything like that. Um, oh, Rage was talking about the kids are invading for trick or treating, so that's why my yard has spike pits. Oh, those poor children.
You gotta fight for that candy, damn it.
Well, I don't have a yard because I have an apartment, but I going to an event for my former roommate tonight because he's getting married, and
A bachelor party.
Rest in
yeah.
peace.
Sounds like
Well, it's not really a bachelor party because we are all kind of locking ourselves down and not
And are
going out.
old.
Yeah, well, we don't want to get sick,
Yeah,
you know.
fair enough.
they're
I mean-
they're going to one of those. Everybody's going to be in their own vehicle, and they're going to go through one of those drive-through strip joints. Is what they're.
Ugh, that sounds terrible.
Well, so that does give me an idea for something. What if you combine one of those drive-through strip joints, but you put like squeegees in strategic places on an outfit, and that way, like when they're rubbing up against your car, they're actually washing it.
I still wouldn't go. Not my thing.
Well, no. The fact that you started off with the word squeegee is what honestly just kind of ruined it to start out with, because I'm like, this is either going to be like a car wash reference, or this is going to get really bad. So
Hey guys, look, you can see tits and your car gets clean. What do you know?
you've got boobs washing your car.
Reminds me of the movie fucking Grown Ups, whenever they take Grown Ups 2 when they go to the car wash and the dudes are cleaning Kevin whatever. Yeah.
Kevin James's car.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like Andy Sandberg?
Yep.
Like the Lonely Island Boys did that scene.
I'm on a boat.
Oh gosh, this is the tale. That when they had
Captain
Michael
Jack
Bolton,
Sparrow.
when they had Michael Bolton singing that, and it was
This whole town's a pussy just waiting to get fucked. Yeah.
it was because I think it was so funny about that whole song was that it was them
Trying to have a
talking
thug ser-
like
yeah.
they're talking about going to a nightclub, and then Michael Bolton is chiming in singing about movies in the chorus, and they're just like, what is going on?
No, that actually a little funny story. Since we were talking about like me doing music, when I was hanging out with a few buddies and we were fucking around making some like bullshit, we were doing a song, and like it was kind of like a lower version of like a heavy metal song, and all of a sudden you hear our buddy in the background playing some country fucking bumpkin. And we're like, we look back at him like, what the fuck are you doing back there? He's like, I got bored, so I thought I'd just fuck around with guitar. And I'm like, fair enough.
Well, sometimes the best stuff that happens in like some of the greatest songs of all time just happens strictly by accident. So
Yeah, we decided to make, so the five of us, because back then there were five of us in the group. We all got really high and made a song about White Castle's chicken rings.
So, something that's really cool. We have 90 subscribers now.
are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
Yep.
I may or may not have shilled the channel just a little bit whenever we were starting.
Oh well, I'm glad that you gave us a push there, definitely. But hang on just a second. Let me pull this up on my phone and just take a quick look here. Da, 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 da. Holy fucking shit! Wow, we are up to 90 subs, everybody. That's that may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but for us here, that's
You're talking to a dude who had like a mental breakdown when somebody donated $10 on a stream. So,
but and I get that too, but that wow, thank you guys so much. Like if you're listening live right now, or if you're going to go back and listen to this later on, thank you so much for the support. It's just like we say every week before we close the doors and lock them for the week. we appreciate every single one of you. Those that listen live and have fun in the chat with us, or if you listen later on and everything, we really do. We love and appreciate every single one of you, and thank you so much for those. 10 more, 10 more, and we can have a 100 sub celebration.
I'll go make 10 more stock accounts real quick. Give me about like 5 minutes. What was really funny was like last week when you guys were doing your thing, and I just noticed like there's a fuck ton of dislikes. I was like, all right, bet. I got on my 12 fucking sock accounts and just spam the shit out of the like button, and I'm like, yeah, what now, bitch? What are you gonna do?
Well, no, what it was I think it was because I was talking about it in Discord afterwards, because I had left to go play Magic, and and after the show, like when I'm over at my buddy's house, because we have a couple other people who play with us, and was waiting for them to get there, and I'll go back and I'll listen to the show, basically like a self-critique, sound check, see how everything sounded, how everything came across. And I noticed, because it was like what, 24, like when we signed out that day, and I went and looked a little bit later, and it was down to like 19, or no, yeah, it was like 20, it was like 24 and 19, and then I looked later and it was down to 6, and I woke up the next day and it was down to 0. So I think it may have been just been a bot or something like that, because Stu Dog actually was the one who was checking it and seeing what the deal was, and he sent me a screenshot like the next day, saying it was down to 0, and then I went and checked it, and yet all of the dislikes were gone. Because I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I mean, that was very disconcerting when it was all going on. I'm just like who the fuck did we piss off?
By the way, the stream is completely black right now.
Are you serious?
What does that mean?
Wait.
Hang on,
It looks fine on my end.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
I've got it pulled up. Hold on. No, it's not. It's still going.
I'm looking at it on my phone right now. And
yeah, you might want to restart your device there, Rage. Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Yeah, it looks fine on this end, Rage. You may want to restart your system. Stu Dog says looks good. Bonk says looks good. And Bonk, you need to be on the lookout for some Townsend merch and demos and stuff for me, and message me on Discord how I can get it.
Speaking of merch,
go ahead and give your plug. Go ahead.
Not really anything to shill yet, but I've been talking to a few people, and we might have a Ginger Nation clothing line soon. So,
motherfucker, you better send me one for free. That's all I gotta say.
We're looking at it. Like, I'm looking at it right now because I have a buddy of mine who has his own clothing brand, and he's struggling because of COVID-19. So I was just like, look, we'll fucking chill it on the channel. Whatever we do.
Doc and I want to do some merch. I think we're gonna do beer steins and shot glasses and condoms.
Totally do dildos.
No.
Nope.
Doc Cyrus dildo, and it just looks like a fucking cowboy hat.
Oh God! I wish Wanderer were here right now to have heard. Because
I'm filling in for him.
No. If Wanderer had been here when that happened, when that was just said, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. He would have probably just lost his shit. So I'm gonna have to tell him to be sure to listen. closer toward the back end of the stream. But Doc Cyrus dildos.
Yeah,
Now,
you just make it look like a cowboy hat.
no. They come with detachable cowboy hats.
There you go.
They come with detachable cowboy hats that protect the tip. No. They're the battery covers. They're the battery covers.
We call them Doc Cyrus pickle ticklers.
Illness.
Dude, there was actually this thing that we made a joke because we didn't like saying the word pussy out in public. So there was a joke between me and my buddies that did music together. We called dildos clam jammers. And so one day we were working on an album that this group of people wanted to get done, and we were kind of bored. So my buddy's like, you know what? I'm just gonna sing some shit in the fucking booth, and I'm like, all right, fine. And he's like, you're gonna come in there with me. And so he was playing the guitar, and I was just singing a song called the Clam Jam song, and we're looking at.
Well, I mean that's kind of similar to that that old '70s rock band, Ram Jam, because they had that Black Betty, which, and incidentally, if you have, and I've probably said this before, but it bears repeating, if you have never watched that music video for Black Betty from back in the day, holy fucking shit! It just watching their bass player will make your fucking day. Like, he, out of all of those guys, like everybody around him while they're filming and all of this, but out of all those guys in the band, that bass player, he is having the most fucking fun. He is, dude. I seriously, he is the fucking man.
I argue that the best video ever made for a music song, like for a song, and I don't remember who did it, but it was to the tune of "What Is Love," and it's just like 3 dudes sitting in a fucking car. There's Satan, then there's 2 other guys, and they're all just fucking nodding their head, and one's just going back, like fucking rocking back and forth, like he's just on drugs or something. It's probably my favorite music video of all time.
Hello, Nathan. Nice to see you.
Hey, it's my boy Nathan's here. What's up, man?
Well, like I've said before, any friend of Quentin's is a friend of ours. But oh God, the fucking Doc dildo, man. That
Yeah, no.
that
See,
was
like,
great.
the thing is, like,
Doc, you have you gotta make it happen.
the Doc Cyrus clam jammer.
Oh my gosh, you called it that, didn't you?
Yeah,
That-
yeah. No. That could be the slogan for it when you need to jam your clam.
Why go to a gynecologist when you can talk to Dr. Cyrus yourself?
I think I literally feel like Doc is like 17 shades of red at this point.
Hey, man, when you get 2 gingers on a fucking live stream together, what do you expect to happen?
And now he's gone all quiet. I think we embarrassed him.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything beyond this. This is all
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the one that gave me roofies, man.
Don't get all humble now after you roofied Quentin to get him in here.
Yeah. No, but
No, hang on, Doc. You don't get off that easy, dude. You don't get
I
off.
mean, that's why he's making the clam jammer, because he doesn't get off that easily, and neither do women.
Come
Dude,
on.
we actually like there's a thing that has never seen the light of day and probably never will. But back when I had my old channel, I actually got with a couple of people and we actually wrote a parody of the Adam and Eve show that you would see on like Comedy Central at like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. And
the old infomercials.
yeah, we wrote a parody skit, and
It sounds like something Doc and I would do, actually.
it was a lot of fun. We just it's never gonna be able to see the light of day because it will not. There's a lot of it that cannot go on YouTube. So Um, like we made a joke about shoving a Coke bottle up someone's butt. So, yeah, now my dog's humping his bed.
Doc,
Shit's just going
Doc,
downhill.
embarrass you that much?
I'm just not saying anything incriminating. I am just
Oh
keeping my
God,
mouth shut.
dude, you have said way worse shit over the years.
I have, but I've never said anything worse than what I've said on air. So
Now wait a minute, hang on. Hang on. Now that ain't true. Now
no. I have not said the worst stuff I say. I keep it off the air. I do not say the worst stuff. So I've got a lot of jokes running through my head right now, but I'm not saying a single one of them. I
Well,
am not incriminating myself. I
come on,
will.
give us one. Give us one.
Nope. You're not
Hey,
getting it out of
I
me.
got a kind of a dark joke for you guys.
If this is anything like abundantly racist or anything,
No, it's nothing racist or anything like that. Where did Billy go after he visited the minefield?
I don't know.
oh,
Everywhere.
God. Oh man, we walked.
Okay, we have just now descended into the law of diminishing returns at this point.
Yeah, you know.
So you know we've got about 15 minutes left on the show today, and so what I thought we would do
Uh-oh.
is seeing as how we lost one of the greats this morning.
Oh wait, I forgot to ask you. Did you guys do the homework assignment that I sent you?
Oh fuck
No, I didn't.
my work schedule has changed, and so
I've been moving.
Fair enough.
mind. So since we did lose one of the greats this morning, favorite Sean Connery movies. Top 3 favorite Sean Connery movies. Doc, you go first.
Okay. The Hunt for Red October.
Heard.
Really, you know, I have a hard time picking which James Bond movie he was in because I love all of them. But
Honestly, him and Pierce Brosnan were the 2 best James Bonds.
see, I think Daniel Craig's a better James Bond than Pierce Brosnan.
Well, that's debatable, but
yeah, like I said, I can't think of the name of it. No, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with "You Only Live Twice" out of that, and then Highlander is my other one.
Clockwork says Highlander. Stew Dog says Dr. No Goldfinger and never say never again. No, Rage, you can't be the Highlander because there can be only one, and we just lost him. Quentin, you go next.
I would say Hunt for Red October, Finding Forrester, and Entrapment.
All right. I too will say Hunt for Red October. The Man Who Would Be King, and does Time Bandits count? If he was in it, it counts. So yeah. Hang on. Let's see here. Well, I'm about to go destroy some non-masking army outside my house with my armor and potato rifle. Oh my god.
Dragonheart, that was a good one.
Dragonheart was a pretty good one. I'm okay. Okay, so Hunt for Red October, The Man Who Would Be King, and Wow, I'm gonna go with if I'm gonna pick a Bond movie, I'm gonna go with Goldfinger.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, really, you can't go wrong if you pick a Sean Connery James Bond movie.
I prefer Goldmember.
Now, I actually enjoyed The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed Sean Connery in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Well, I mean that's basically what I'm saying because I mean he was the main reason to actually watch the movie. But
The-
I will say this: his best purely out of nowhere cameo would have to be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
oh yeah,
because he played King Richard. Let's see, he had the tiniest part in Time Bandits. I can't remember who he was. Then he appeared briefly at the end.
well, hey, Widow, it's time for me to head out. Remember, I got to head out early
All right,
today.
all right, Doc.
Thanks, y'all. Enjoyed it.
All right, man. Well, we will.
Nice talking to you.
I'll be in touch with you, Doc, here later on, and be sure to tune into the bonus show and listen in with us on Monday.
All right.
All right. Be good, man.
Will do. Bye, y'all.
But yeah, it's a really sad day. To someone who had given the world so much through just his acting ability, and because honestly, the way I look at it is it is really the little things that count. If you can bring someone joy in one way or another, that's what matters. It's like, you love music, and I certainly do as well. And and I know I've told the story of getting to meet Phil Anselmo from Pantera, but like that moment, like I've met some of the coolest motherfuckers in metal like over the years, and they've all been super nice and everything, and those are really cool moments. But to be able to actually look like one of the main people that like has helped you get through some shit and recenter yourself and feel better, to thank them for that, and they're just doing, because and a lot of them will tell you, it's like, man, we're just doing music, and be like, right, I mean, to you, you're just doing music, man, but to me, you're helping me, you're helping me feel better, you're helping me get better in a way. And I think that's one thing that kind of people kind of take for granted when it comes to people that are actors. Like I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. Nicolas Cage, Keanu Reeves, those two of my favorites. But we lost. I mean, we lost another legend today. We did. We lost another legend, and they're disappearing on us, and that saddens me immensely. It really does. We're losing the people that have had the biggest, if not the most massive impact on the world in any shape, form, or fashion. I mean, we've lost David Bowie, we lost Lemmy, we've lost Ronnie James Dio, we lost Chuck Berry, we lost James Brown, Aretha Franklin. Now we've lost Sean Connery. It saddens me for the world. It really does. And I know people can't live forever. I understand that. But, well, I mean, unless you're Betty White, Keith Richards, or Cher at this point. But the good ones are going on us, man. And that scares the fuck out of me. Quentin, are you still there?
I'm here. Yeah, I get it. I do have to take off, my guy.
Okay, that's fine. I can.
Duty does call.
All right. Well, do you real quick before you slide out, do you go ahead and give your channel a plug and everything that's coming up with it, and where people can make a donation to the charity that you're going to be doing and everything like that?
Yeah, I'll drop the link to my channel and the Streamlabs link in the chat real quick. If you want to check out my channel, it's Ginger Nation. I'll drop a link real quick.
I knew I forgot to put something in the description when I set this up the other night, but I was at work and I was just crazy. All right, guys,
if you want to donate to the Streamlabs, so that way I can donate to Movember, here it is in the thingamabob. But yeah, I don't really have anything coming up new, but yeah, that's pretty much me.
Well, Quentin, thank you so much, my dude, for coming on. It's been a joy to have you on again and actually like really, do an interview with you. And I hope you had fun. And
for sure.
You're always welcome here on the Sanctum, and I really appreciate your time. But go and take care of what you need to do, and be sure to tune in Monday when we have burnt toast.
Will do. All right, thank you for having me, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, be good, man.
You too.
Well, guys, this is a rare moment where it is just me, and we still got a few people watching right now. So let me see here. Did you get to listen to any more of Townsend? I have been slowly working my way through it, Bonk. I'm not completely done with it yet. As far as song titles go, like I've been trying to listen to it while I've been at work, so forgive me. But I am going to make a point to sit down and dig deeper into them tomorrow, and I will try to give you a full report on the bonus show. But seriously, guys, on just a little bit of a serious note, this is a rarity that it's just me in here. Actually, I think this is the first time this has actually ever happened. I can't stress enough how much I do appreciate everybody. And I want you all to know that your support does in fact mean the world to me. It really does. The world that we live in right now is so crazy, and it's so chaotic and dark and everything like that, that little moments like this that we have to come together for a couple hours once a week, sometimes twice, doing a bonus show now, it's a blessing in a way. It's a blessing in disguise. And I appreciate the time that we get here. But then, when we leave here and we go to we go to some of the other channels that we watch, or we go about and do our daily grind and everything. I'm roboting a little. Oh, I do apologize. But yeah, it's like I was saying, there are those people. There are those people in this world that bring just a little bit of light to this dark place that we have, and we did in fact lose one of the greats today, and Sean Connery certainly will be missed. I know, like I said, I've always been a big fan of his. So, if you get a moment this evening when, after or before the trick-or-treaters arrive, if they're able to trick-or-treat, throw in a good Sean Connery movie and just remember him in your own way. But today being Halloween, if you're going to go out and do anything, if you're going to go to a Halloween party of somebody that you know is going to be having one with just a few people, guys, if you're going to be drinking, don't go anywhere. Get an Uber, get a cab home. if you've got kids and you're going to be taking them out to trick or treat, please be safe, and try to have fun tonight. And kick back, watch some horror movies, and have you a drink or two, or do what you do. But please, please be safe tonight, because people are definitely going to be out partying one way or another, and you definitely need to be safe. So from myself and Doc and Wanderer, have a happy Halloween, and be safe out there. And like I said, don't drink and drive. And if you're not going to be drinking and you're going to be driving, put your seatbelt on at least. But just from hang on, what's Stu Dog saying here? If you drink, don't fall on your face. Yeah, that's good advice. That's definitely good advice too. Well, guys, this has been a fun episode. I would like to thank Quentin for coming on the show. Quentin Phipps, a.k.a. Ginger Nation, a.k.a. Ginger Jesus, a.k.a. The Random Ginger. Good friend of mine. Please be sure to click on the link to his channel. Give him a subscription. Hit the notification bell. Get it on for him, and show him a little bit of love and support. His Streamlabs also, donate to this charity that he was talking about, November. It's basically advocating, supporting for men's mental health, or mental health in general, I'm assuming. But definitely make a donation to that, because for those of us who have things, anxiety and severe depression, PTSD, what have you, this is something, and I'm sure it can go to help the people who can't get the help that they need. So be sure to click on that Streamlab and go and help with that. Excuse me. But guys, we are going to go ahead and we are going to close and lock the Sanctum for today on this Halloween edition of the Sanctum Sanctorum. I want to thank everyone who dropped in today. Stu Dog, thank you so much for being here, my brother. We've definitely got to get you back in here to hang out and talk with us soon. Bonk, Scud, or that's Bonk, Sterno, Wanderer, Spooky, Rex, Bonk, Mr. Bond, all of you, thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a happy and safe Halloween. Like I said, be safe tonight, definitely. Once again, do not forget about the bonus show on Monday, normal time, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK time. It will be the Wanderer and myself, and we will be joined by Burnt Toast. So please be sure to tune in for that episode, because we are going to have a good time with that. But once again, my friends, I do thank you so much for tuning in to the Sanctum Sanctorum today. And once again, happy Halloween. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. We love you wherever you happen to be. And I will see everyone on Monday with the Wanderer and Burnt Toast for the bonus show. But until then, my friends, as always, peace be with you.